Sometimes corners are so tight that the only way to ride around them is actually to do an endo, lift up the rear wheel to get round it. So let's learn how to endo round the corners. The first thing to learn obviously is just the normal endo, and this is really a case of using the front brake and a transfer of weight. And the real knack to this is trying to get the two at the same time. You want to move a little bit forward and then hit the front brake. If you don't put your weight on that front wheel, it's just going to slide. You do need quite a big movement of weight towards the front tyre and that big powerful bit of brake to get the rear wheel up. So you've got to be careful that you don't go over the bars, and the way to stop that is just get ready to release the front brake. It's going to let the front wheel roll and your weight should drop back down, but you might eventually go over the bars, so just be careful. Also, another way to try and save yourself from going over the bars is actually to sort of bring the rear tyre up to you by bending your legs. Now let's try and add in a corner. And this can be a bit tricky if you're not used to it. It's a case of turning first and then starting your endo. So you need a little turn of the bars, then move your weight forward and hit the front brake. Find yourself somewhere nice and safe and flat to practice this. You'll probably find you have a preferred way of doing it as well. Mine is to go to the right hand side because my left foot is forward. So practice that one first, get it nailed before you start learning it the other way as well. The real tricky part about this is trying to keep your weight above the bike when you're doing it. You might find that you fall off to the inside, or you sort of fold over the other way and fall to the outside of the bike. Also be a little bit careful, because if you're really picking your back wheel up and slamming it down sideways, it could lead to a bent rear rim, so go a bit steady with this. All right, so hopefully you've got a bit of a feel for doing it on the flat, and now let's take it to a corner. It is pretty much the only way you can get around some of those tightest, steepest switchbacks, but it's such a committed thing to try and do because you're really getting close to going over the bars whilst doing it, so it can be really sketchy and pretty gnarly. So let's start off with a pretty mellow corner. A couple of important things to think about when you're starting to do it on the trail is make sure your front wheel is going to grip when you're doing it. It's a little bit slippy here today, and if it does slide, I'm just going to come off the front brake to try and get it gripping again. And also make sure there's somewhere nice and smooth for your rear wheel to land. It's not going to get bent or anything like that. The final and probably the most important tip to nailing this technique is to make sure you're looking round the corner so you know when to come off the front brake, what angle to sort of plant the rear wheel down and come out where you need to be going. There you go. It's how to endo around a corner. It's lots of fun. Definitely get out there, practice it, and if you want to see some more trial skills that can help you ride your mountain bike, click over there for that one. Hit the sub button, give us a thumbs up. Oh, now I'm muddy.